and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Backyard Buckets. We're going to continue on the previewing every NBA team series. We're on the 5th team so far, and this is the Chicago Bulls, obviously going in alphabetical order. But before we get started, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We're posting at least 2 basketball videos every day. And if you like this video at any point, make sure to like it. It really helps out the video in the YouTube algorithm, and it gets it out to more people. Now today, obviously, talking about the Chicago Bulls, their starting lineup is basically the same from last year. They added one more guy, but a lot of Bulls fans were not too happy with their selection. They took Patrick Williams at 4. He was a guy that headed into the draft or headed into March Madness last year. Was not necessarily a first-round pick, I don't think, in many people's eyes. But he went straight up the board with all his, I guess people just watched his film more. They saw his pre-draft workouts. And he went flying up the board and eventually was taken with the 4th pick by the Bulls. So we're going to get into that. But first we're going to do the depth chart. We got Kobe White starting at point guard. He really came on last year, towards the end of the year, really balled out. I think he had a point where he had like 3 or 4 games where he dropped 30 or more. At the 2, they got Zach Levine. He's kind of their star. He had a good season last year, although he did have clashes with Jim Boylan a lot. Did you see Malik Monk's face right there? If you didn't back it up and look at it, it's hilarious. But, what was it? Yeah. So he had some clashes with Jim Boylan last year where they didn't get along, and Levine was taken out during points when he went into a shooting slump. Obviously, he dropped 13 threes on the Hornets last year, which was just fantastic. But yeah, he'll be their go-to guy offensively. At the 3, they got Otto Porter Jr. At the 4, they got Lauri Markkanen, who we'll talk more about later, but he needs to have a really good breakout season. And at the 5, they got Wendell Carter. Coming off the bench, they got Tomas Satoransky, who's a pretty good backup point guard, Denzel Valentine, Chandler Hutchinson, obviously the 4th pick in the draft this year, Patrick Williams, and a lot of people, specifically King of the Fourth Quarter, were trying to be, or KOT4Q, however you want to say it, we're trying to be excited about this pick, but it was a disappointment to a lot of people, a lot of Bulls fans, but he should see some minutes this year. Coming off the bench, I mean, you never know. He might surprise everybody and be an absolute stud. And then the backup center is the guy they took last year, I do believe, Daniel Gafford. They have Ryan Arcidiacono and Thad Young, who will play some minutes in the rotation. But yeah, that's basically their whole depth chart. My projection for the Bulls this year, I think they'll be between the 8th to the 12th seed. This is the 2nd video in a row, and we're going to continue it with the next video of kind of the lower level Eastern Conference teams. Obviously the Knicks are down at the lowest of the low, pretty sure, but yeah, we got the Bulls today, did the Hornets yesterday, also going to do the Cavaliers later. So this is kind of the run on 3 of the lower level teams in the Eastern Conference. But yeah, I think that they do have a good chance to make the play-in tournament. A lot of people have them as like the 11th seed, but I really think they could surprise some people. Markkanen was supposed to have a breakout year last year. A lot of questionable things went on with Coach Jim Boylan. I'm pretty sure they eventually fired him. Yeah, so I just looked it up. They actually hired Billy Donovan, which was a great hire. So yeah, but I think that even Wendell, especially Lauri and Zach Levine, Kobe White, they got 4 really good young players. I think they could take a huge step with Billy Donovan as the coach. But, yeah, I don't think they'll get much higher than the 8th seed. I could see them maybe sneaking into the playoffs if, they just have a crazy good season. Some other injuries happen throughout the NBA. But 8 to 12, somewhere in there is where I have them. Their playoff ceiling, I don't think they'll make the playoffs, like I said. So I'll put their playoff ceiling in the play-in tournament. The X factor for the Bulls this year, you could say this 2 ways. It could be Zach Levine, who you could say he needs to have a breakout season and he needs to be a superstar, establish himself as a superstar. But the way I looked at it is I think it's Lauri Markkanen. I mean, the Bulls basically traded Jimmy Butler for Levine and Markkanen, and they need Levine or they need Markkinen to have a really good season. I believe this is either his third or fourth year, so he needs to have a really good season this year. I think he can with the new head coach. He's a 6'11" guy that can shoot it. Those aren't very commonly occurring things in the NBA. So, yeah, I think he needs to have his breakout season. I think he can. I think he'd be an absolute stud for this Bulls team and help them surprise a lot of people and get into the playoff hunt. So my notes for the Bulls is Lowry obviously needs to have his breakout season. Levine still needs to play good. Porter, Wendell Carter, and Kobe White need to have good seasons. And Patrick Williams needs to show he was deserving of the 4th pick. Billy Donovan could really help them sneak up on some people with some good coaching. They have some pieces there, so they can have a good season, and it could work out for them. But yeah, this is a young team with good potential. Like I said, new coach could sneak up on some people. But yeah, that's my prediction for the Chicago Bulls this season. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like if you enjoyed at any point. It'll really help us out. Also subscribe. That helps us out too. Thanks for watching.